cheers to episode 76.
Everyone's drinking.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, the other two of us. There's a high noon in the fridge. Watch him ask right here. I bet it's coming. Definitely leaving this in. Yeah, you can have the last high noon. Notice he said beer is community. High noon is not beer.
It's the first thing that came to my head. Okay, Grant.
High noon is elite. It's real vodka, real juices. Oh yeah, dead giveaway.
Mango.
I am drinking pineapple. High noon.
Great flavor.
It's a great flavor.
Bud Light next.
Nooner mango.
Future. All right. It is Wednesday, my dudes. June 15th, 7:09 p.m. What a random time to read off. You're welcoming in, you're listening to the #1 sports podcast in Michigan, where you get your fill of Detroit, Michigan athletic updates. And it's hot outside, and people are talking about it.
It's toasty. It's rough.
It's walking into an oven when you step outside.
Yeah.
I enjoy warm weather, and I do not like cold weather. So it doesn't bother me.
Says from the office boy that didn't work out in the heat today.
We get it, Evan. You worked outside. Do you want
I feel bad I feel bad for everybody else that actually had to work outside longer than I did.
I feel bad for the melt deck at Irvin.
I don't feel bad for
123
those
up
people.
there.
I did not feel bad for those people.
Evan.
I don't.
They're just trying to earn a modest living for their family.
I understand that.
There's a lot of construction going on where Alex and I live, and I feel bad for the workers out there in their hard hats every single day moving dirt. That just cannot be fun right now. On the weekends, too, they do it. It's a round-the-clock job. But yeah, that dominated today. People looking at the weather, seeing it's above 90s for the first time. We haven't, as Alex likes to point out, we haven't even hit the official first day of summer yet. So that is pretty strong case for global warming going on right now.
Do you remember the winter? It was cold every day.
Not this past winter. It wasn't that bad.
Coming from work from home, boy, he wouldn't know. Never went outside.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, coming from the person that just gets into their truck and then walks into the office, boy.
That's enough to know how cold it is.
All three of us, Alex, had lived through the coldest winter, so I compare any current winter to that winter, and if it's not that bad, then it's not that bad.
There's no
You're
polar
comparing it
vortex.
to like 3 days. It's not like the whole winter was that cold.
But there wasn't a single day this past summer where anything was actually canceled due to coldness, and that was a case in the senior year at Butler University.
That's the only time Michigan State has ever canceled classes for cold, ever.
That's cold.
Okay, that's not really a comparable time.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
You're comparing extremes. You got to throw outliers out in this average.
Either way. All right. To preview the show. Oh, before we preview, the new thing we're doing, plugging socials at the beginning and the listen, so we get it both beginning and end of the show at ShotOfMS on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow along there, and TikTok as well. And then listen, Spotify, YouTube, Apple. That's where you can listen to this show. Previews, we'll do weekly check-ins, some quick hitting sports topics as we do throughout the summer when things are dull. Detroit Pistons draft preview, a franchise-altering night, is 1 week from when you're listening to this. If you're listening on Thursday, the draft is next Thursday. Put it on your calendars now. U.S. Open picks, huge tournament in golf. Alex did not qualify this year for the tournament, but we were going to talk about it nonetheless. And a lot of questions about the new spicy, controversial Live Tour. We'll mix in with some listener questions throughout the show. So that is what is in store for you guys. But to start, we'll start with Alex this week. What have you done since our last show?
Last recorded Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday, played golf with Drew during the day. Saw Evan working out there. I don't know how hard he was working, but he was there working.
Was not working hard.
So did that. And then I had a grad party this weekend. Cousin.
Congrats.
Congrats to Zane. So I was there from 1:30 to 11.
It's a huge moment in a man's life.
Sorta. So it was a good grad party. They had a live band. Pretty fancy.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like, I don't know, not a jazz band, but like, I don't know, light rock. I don't know. They were just kind of like under a tent playing
Strictly
the whole time.
Strictly 80s Billy Joel.
Like 2 to 6. They were
Jesse
playing.
and the Trumpets.
Played the Grant. You're one of the games you're really good at. The guess the song or guess song and artist.
Thank goodness I wasn't there.
Turns
That would have ruined it.
Turns out my dad is really good at it. Like 1 beat, 2 beats, gets it every time. It was pretty impressive. I was surprised.
It sounds like a clash is brewing for the future.
I mentioned that you were very good at it. His range outside of the 70s to 90s is very bad, though. Like if he gets out of those 3 decades, he's not getting anything.
I think it'd be a good match still. Just would have to have a fair balance of songs.
Yeah, just did that. Sunday, I played golf again with my dad.
And then Monday, you did too. Jeez.
Yeah, and I shot under par on Sunday on one side. Good for me, getting off the schneid a little.
Yeah.
And then Monday, golfed again. So a lot of golf. I guess I golf a lot.
It is that time of year. Yeah. Evan, your recap, and then you can, at the end of it, you and Alex can do the golf league on Monday as well.
Okay. Thursday, yes. Well, Friday.
Oh, guys, we got to add Top Gun to this.
Top Gun Friday.
That's what it is.
I didn't even write it down. Holy cow. This is going to be a live pivot. I didn't write down any of my notes. Evan, how was it?
You don't need notes to talk about that movie.
Fantastic movie. It just skyrocketed into Evan's top 5 movies of all time.
Is it premature to put it in the top 5, Evan? I think so.
No.
Recency bias for sure. You walked out and sent the text.
I feel like you've done that on this podcast 3 times.
Yeah, and all those movies were worth it being in the top 5.
Are they all in the top 5 still?
Yes.
Friday. What is your current top 5?
Friday. Wait. Before you think, Evan. Friday, 10:36 p.m. That movie was fantastic. It has been added to Evan's top 5 movie list of all time.
So what is your top 5? People want to know.
In no order.
No, that has to be in order.
No, I don't have it. I don't know which one's
That's so much pressure.
I don't know which one's number 1.
Fine.
I don't even know if I have it. Yeah. I have a top 4.
All right, we'll take the 4.
Okay. Greatest Showman.
Oh my God, you're gonna get butchered for that,
McCray.
Good. Let him rip. Okay, Greatest Showman, and then
number
Top Gun
1,
Maverick.
Dude.
You have No Time to Die, and then you have
the newest
No Way
Batman. Oh, that's the
Spider-Man.
Fifth one. We'll go with the new Batman.
So 3 have
you
been
have
on
3
this show.
new movies in your top
What's gonna
5
top
movies.
that? What movies are going to top those movies?
No Time to Die is really good.
So we've talked about 4 of said movies on this very show.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're fantastic movies.
I am kind of
you could watch those over and over again.
I just watched Batman the other night on Sunday.
Is on HBO now.
I'm kind of some would call me a novice when it comes to movie watching because I really find myself only liking movies that are made like 2010 and on, just because when you watch old movies, the way they're filmed, it's so lackluster and the graphics are so unbelievable in a bad way. Like you can't believe that that's actually what they meant to happen. So I just find myself only liking newer movies. So I kind of am in Evan's camp where I can see that 4 of his 5 are like brand new movies, basically.
That being said, I do love the new Top Gun. It's a really good movie. Awesome graphics.
I
awesome
gave it
visuals.
a 9. Somebody asked me today. I gave it a 9.2 out of 10.
I said it clear to 8. I'd never landed on a number really. It's hard to
8.6. There's some like tiny plot things I'm not a huge fan of. It's like goofy stuff.
If I had to give a nitpick, I would say I thought it would be cool if Rooster Miles Teller sweeping the nation, America's heartthrob. That's how you know a movie's doing well. You go on TikTok, all you see is Miles Teller. Anyways, it would have been cool if he had a love interest as opposed to Tom Cruise's. I think that would have been cool if there was a person that he was trying to see. Kind of like how Tom Cruise had one in the first movie.
Interesting.
I respect that take.
I wish. So this is obviously spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
I was hoping that Maverick died. I think it would have made the movie fantastic.
Tom Cruise ain't going to kill himself off in his own movie.
Yeah, but there's not going to be another one, probably.
He has to be the hero. I think there is going to be another one. But Tom Cruise isn't going to be in it.
A hero.
Oh, yeah. There's
going to be another one. It's going to be Top Gun Rooster.
That's what I said to Grant when I left.
That movie title, though, does not hit the same
Top
as Top
Gun
Gun
3.
Maverick.
It's going to be Top Gun 3 because the way that they ended the movie with Rooster and Hangman kind of like looking at each other, the way like Goose and Maverick did at the end of the first one, kind of was like hinting at that, hey, there's possible for a third one.
I got the title, Top Gun Mach 11. Because it was about Mach 10 in the last movie. One. That's better than either just Top Gun 3.
My other gripe is that I get it's supposed to be like nostalgic. They repeated like several scenes, probably too many scenes that I didn't need to see. Like they could have made it a little different.
Okay, nitpicking.
I still really like it.
People are gonna think we have it as like a 2. The way they filmed it was phenomenal. The technology they have from the first one. I didn't even watch the first one again before I went. Alex did, so you have the best feel for like how they were able to film this one compared to the last one. Was just in a different league of you felt like you were in a fighter jet. And I said for the last like half hour, I had legitimate goosebumps on my arms and thought I was riding a roller coaster at Cedar Point. The way that the movie was taking me through all the turns of their mission, it was. I felt like I should have a seatbelt on in the theater for what I was witnessing on the big screen with all the noise around me too.
The last 45 minutes is exhilarating, or like an hour. I don't know what the exact time is, but when they start doing all the mission stuff, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's great, yeah.
And you have during training when I thought there was going to be a real death in the movie where
I thought 2 deaths.
What was it? The bird. They hit the birds.
Yeah,
which I guess does actually happen to fighter jets. You never know. You hit birds, you're screwed. And then the vertigo or the G-force blackout.
He passed out.
That was like, I thought this guy was just going to die and they're going to call off the mission, or like they're going to be like, no, we can't do it, but we'll still do it because we need to go take out this uranium bomb. So we're going to do it no matter what.
Was their escape once they crashed too easy?
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. That was my thought. When I first walked away from the movie was
they kind of just strolled up on a plane and just left.
I thought it was like Lone Survivor vibes, and they just ran right to the plane waiting for them.
Well, I knew there wasn't enough movie left to really have a long draw out from there.
Yeah, but technically, like the runway was kind of blown up, so that plane was going to get left behind anyways because there's no really any place to take off. It's all about the person in the plane, and
the man in the box.
Maverick was able to take off. Because he was able to fly because he did in the old movies. So
that was.
Were you mad Hangman saved the day?
No, I figured it wasn't going to be just Hangman. I thought like more of like the rest of the.
You thought the whole squad would roll up?
That would have been a chilling. You guys want to know where my dumb brain went during the movie live? I thought one of them was gonna die via the ejection method that Goose's dad died by.
I thought that would happen again.
Like, I thought maybe Tom Cruise would die that way, and they'd be like, oh, I thought it was going to be way cheesy and ruin the movie if they did it that way. The Hangman was way better. But I thought, are they really going to have, like, them hit the eject? Because Rooster was hitting the button, and he's like, it's not working. So they were screwed. They couldn't leave the plane, and I thought maybe he'd hit it one last time, and it would, but then someone's head would hit, like the way Goose died.
That was a nerve-wracking
I was like, that'd be a little too cheesy if someone died again that way.
Well, that's what I mean. They repeated a lot of plot lines, so I didn't know if they were going to do it again at the end. Also, and they did it at the end again with the little smiling and happiness.
Yeah. Hangman's his helmet where it didn't have the two A's was sweet.
That was sweet. That was
when I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome that he didn't put the A's in there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I almost cried at the very end when they were like shaking hands on the deck, like when they hugged, when Rooster and Tom hugged, and like they're thinking about Goose in that moment. I was like, damn, that is some if that really happened in real life, that is some intense stuff.
I was never near tears. Also, just the opening scene and all that, I'm not sure any of that was necessary.
Well, wait, you talking about Danger Zone? Because that's still
Danger Zone needs to be played longer.
Sorry.
Danger Zone should have played.
Did you know who was singing that?
No. Hopefully Kenny Loggins.
It was Lady Gaga.
She did not sing Danger Zone.
She did not sing Danger Zone, you idiot.
No, she sang the song in the opening.
She sang the song at the end.
The ending
I was talking about the opening.
Danger Zone.
She sang it.
No, she did not. It was a man's voice.
Did you watch the same movie?
In the very opening scene, it says on the bottom that she's singing.
Like, the opening scene is them all on the naval ship, and then you see, like, the logistics of how a plane takes off and lands, and it's like, dun-dun, dun-dun, and it's Danger Zone.
Yeah, it's her.
It's not her.
Lady Gaga will sing Tom Cruise into the Danger Zone with new Top Gun Maverick song.
It was at the end. She sang the end song when they're flying in the sky with his legs.
This was like 3 weeks ago. If everyone saw it earlier, I'd remember. All right, yeah, you're right. Fine. Yeah. She was singing in that movie.
Yeah, she sang the ending.
What I was talking about was the fancy plane or whatever he was flying that he went he just landed in some random country or state or wherever he landed.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot.
You almost forget that part's in the movie.
Yeah, when the boss gets there, Evan, and the boss is mad that he took the plane out for a joyride because they need to meet their quota.
When the plane blows up?
Yeah.
Yeah. It pretty much blew up.
I guess they're just trying to show what he's up to, but it's just kind of wild.
Well, it was all about, saving the program because they're trying to kick them out for drones.
Yeah, it's all about where he's at. He's still a captain.
Drones stink.
But he never report to authorities. He's not a senior captain. He doesn't have people working underneath him. He's kind of still bottom of the barrel. Yeah. Because he doesn't want to move up because he gets into all this trouble. He still wants to fly.
Also, one of the cheesier moments, but they had to do it, is you knew that old TC Tom Cruise was going to be flying on this coveted mission. And they're like, no, you can't fly, Tom. You can't fly. And then he goes and does the run, which was
Stop calling him Tom Cruise, Grant. That's just not his name in the movie.
Which was also chilling. Tom Cruise is basically a pilot, Alex. He is. And then it was chilling that he did the run and whatnot. And then John Hamm's just standing there. It's like, no, you're not leading the mission. You're going on the mission. It's like, like you knew it was going to happen. There's no way TC's not going on this mission. Like, Tom, we're selecting you.
Tom Cruise didn't go on the mission.
Tom did.
No.
Tom 100% was in, did a ton of, training for this movie. Probably even, you could convince me that he flew in F-16, I'd believe you.
I mean, the cats do a bunch of training.
Yeah, I saw that on TikTok.
And he made Mouse Tower throw up a bunch basically because they had to go experience real G-force. This is a real deal.
8.6.
9.2.
Above an 8.
How about a number?
8.4.
Wow. It's a must watch.
It's a must watch, and as cheesy
you have to watch the first one though before you watch the second one. If you haven't seen the first one, don't waste your time because you have to watch the first one.
Yeah, after the first hour, if you haven't seen the first one, you're like, this movie stinks.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna want to see it in theaters if you can, just because the sound effects, the screen is very if I watch it on my laptop, I'm probably thinking it's a 6.5.
I love actually the very beginning. The first thing you see is Tom Cruise is welcoming everybody to the movie theaters.
Oh, great point, Evan.
Great touch.
I told Alex I've never seen
a great touch.
Never seen a Cruise movie like that, and that was awesome. Alex said he does it for Mission Impossible ones, and I was like, well, that is the classiest thing I've ever sat through.
I think it's a whole thing about being movies releasing online and streaming or in the theaters, and I think he's one of the Hollywood guys where he's a big theater guy.
Yeah, I mean he's a psychopath,
he is 65 years old.
It's awesome that
he's 59.
Yeah, that's just doesn't look it.
And was he 5'7", 5'8"? He's tiny.
He's really short.
This is one of the most badass actors that we have in this country. So keep pumping him out, Tom, until you can't.
Middle-aged women were loving it.
Yeah, they were a lot of cat calls for Tom. Evan, what else on your week? If you have anything else, briefly.
That was Friday. Yeah.
Oh my God. Alex,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah, and I already know.
That thing is blinging.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Who is this guy?
Big bling bling.
Did you get
Tournament champions, baby.
Did you get 37-33 engraved on there?
Yes, I did. Actually, final score of the championship game, 2-0 engraved on the end with my initials.
Really?
No, Alex. They gave it to us
wow.
right after the game
They
ended.
had an engraver just on site like the NBA Finals.
That's the coolest youth travel trophy thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yes, I went down to Swanton, played really well, came home with a championship back-to-back weekends.
Don't let them get hot.
I know. Entire organization did well. Shout out everybody. We sent 6 teams, so our entire organization went down there. 4 of the 6 came out champions. I believe it was 10, 11, 12, and 13 all came home with the championships. Just a great time. Good atmosphere. Saw some crazy parents. Some really bad umping.
Give us one crazy parent or ump story. The one that really was like, I can't believe I'm watching
Very
this.
first game. Saturday morning. We're the first game, 8:30.
Oh.
Lines are already chalked. Everybody's already ready. The opposing team is like yelling, or not. They're not yelling. They're talking to like one of the tournament guys. They're like, "Hey, are you going to fix third base?" And the tournament guy's like, "What are you talking about?" If you looked at third base, half of it is in foul territory. It's completely just not where it's supposed to be. Our game is the last one to start. Just a complete delay. We start with one umpire.
Just a home plate umpire.
No, he's behind the pitcher.
No.
Calling balls and strikes for the first 2 innings.
No. Yes. What is this?
Yes, he's probably some young college
Oh, you know
kid,
what? This tournament spent too much money on the rings. They couldn't afford umps.
Yes. So, and 30 minutes into the game, we're probably in inning 3. You see the other umpire that's supposed to work show up. He's wearing gray joggers. Has his somebody just handed him the umpire shirt and he's untucked. He rolls in, 2 pierced earrings.
Oh no!
Reeked of alcohol. Looked like he was completely just hung over. Probably was still drunk.
It's the same guy who did the foul lines.
And he put him behind the plate.
No.
And you could not hear him call balls or strikes. He would just say strike. And luckily, like, the dugouts were so small, and I was close enough, I could hear him, but he wouldn't go up with a hand. He wouldn't say ball outside or anything. You could barely guess.
You gotta go up with the hand. You don't even need to say strike if you go up with the hand. Everyone knows what that is.
His strike zone was so bad, just inconsistent galore.
Well, because he was spinning, Evan.
Yeah. So, it probably, he made a couple bad calls, called somebody out at home. I thought they were out, So this Anthony Wayne team, it just built up so much anger.
Oh, the Anthony Wayne Generals, they're blue.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
No. Not those guys.
Used to them.
Oh, no.
So, some of his dads moved from, left field. Now they're standing directly behind home plate, just chirping this umpire.
Oh, no.
Okay. Bases are loaded. We're struggling to find the strike zone. They're making a comeback. They actually took the lead. We were up 2-1. They took the lead. I think it's 3-2. They have bases fully loaded. 3-2 count. This is after it was 2-1, 3-1. And boom. It hits the outside black. Ball.
Oh.
Boom. Hits the outside black. Ball. Turns into a full count.
Oh, my God.
What? All right, here we go. Just throw it right down over the heart of the middle. This ball, it is a ball. It is, high and up. Outside. He calls him strike 3, rings this kid up. And they go berserk. I mean, they are saying the dad was basically saying that you're costing us the game, you're screwing us over. And so now the third base coach has to get involved. And instead of de-escalating the situation, telling the parents, he just ramps everybody up and goes straight after the umpire.
Oh no.
And just screaming in his face. I just walk out of my dugout and try to tell my team, hey, 2 outs now, here we go. Hey, 1 more, here we go. My catcher, hilarious kid. My catcher just turned around, not even looking at the field, just turned around staring. Just completely still. Just staring at them, yelling at each other. Oh, it was hilarious.
Also, you telling that story with the ring on your hand is such a power move, too, because you're just explaining what happened, and Steve's like, yeah, well, we won. It's a constant reminder.
Yes. The title game went 45 minutes.
Whoa.
45 minutes.
Whoa.
That is super fast, Alex.
Were you able to save your ace for that?
I don't know how baseball works.
Oh, yeah. So this tournament was you can only pitch 6 consecutive outs. So you can only pitch 2 innings.
What?
So you had to have like more pitchers. So we pitched our lefty stud first. Just mowing kids down left and right. Boom, boom, boom. Then we pitched probably our third kid, lefty. Has a good changeup. They got people on base, but they never scored. We had to make a couple more plays. And then our last kid was like the one at the beginning of the year. He's like probably number 2. He's our best right-handed arm. Just had an immaculate inning. First time we went out there, he faced the bottom of the order and he probably throws the hardest. And those kids wanted nothing to do with it. Just chop it. Oh my!
It's not a sword, Howie.
Yeah, and I just don't feel bad because this team was like we were that bad like 2 or 3 years. Do not feel bad for beating the crap out of teams anymore.
No, you shouldn't.
It feels good to be a champion. We have a winning record this year. We're like 16-4 on the year. So
wow.
Now we're going to Pacehater Park next weekend, Grant.
Back to Sylvania?
We were in Swanton last weekend.
Okay.
Sylvania this weekend.
Pacehatter's a
final tournament?
Nice.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Nice. Oh, Evan.
Well, you guys are on a heater.
Time with me and Grant.
Alex, I've been enjoying this.
As you should.
Dominating.
It's only been like 2 months. April until June.
Yeah. And then
you're out chasing rings.
Yeah.
And then your guys' golf round on Monday. Any notable moments?
Position night.
God, position night.
The top 8 was all within.
I was within 10.
10 points.
10 points.
I was within 6.5. I thought so. I think you're only 7.5 back.
I am not within 10 points anymore or 7.5 points anymore. Got our butts
How did your
kicked.
late tee time go?
We're the last ones to tee off. And I don't think I think I've teed off last one other time in the 3 years that I've played.
Sucks.
Yeah, teeing off last just is. Well, I found who was like the slow people of like our league who slows everybody up. This also doesn't help that the last like 3 holes that we played, it was thundering and lightning off in the distance.
Big storm.
So
night.
like, hey, you got to pick up your pace. So like, go up there, look at it, hit. Go up there, look at it, hit. No, we were standing on 9th tee, and it is. You can hear the thunderstorm rolling in. It is just a lightning show, and they were still in the fairway, like taking their sweet time. And I was just getting sick. I got to the tee box, and I just teed off. They were on the green, and I was by the 150 bush, and I just hit right into them.
Send a warning
about
shot.
3 yards right in front of the green.
You're either going to get struck by lightning or knocked out by Evan's ball.
It's like, come on, people.
How many points you take?
Yeah, we got our butts kicked.
Well, Evan was rattled, clearly, Alex.
We got our butts kicked, and I mean, Drew and I were freaking 3 or 4 deep before we even teed off because we were waiting so long before.
True. Drew mentioned that you guys would be drunk before you teed off.
It was probably a nice night, wasn't it? Before
Bud Light Orange is still good. Bud Light Orange is still
people need to hear
very good.
I need to work that in my rotation more.
You do. I had 2 of them, and I was like, I could probably drink a 12-pack of these easily. They were going down like water.
Alex? I mean, highlights from your round. You're playing a lot of golf, it sounds like.
Yeah, we played a rematch with the opponents that just played us last week that destroyed us.
Oh, revenge tour.
Father G did not play his best golf.
Damn it.
Why are you always blaming it on him? That's what you said last week, too.
Yeah, this is 2 weeks in a row. I beat him pretty easily, and he did not play great.
Like, you would think that if you listen to this, like, Alex's dad is just a garbage can at golf, and Alex's back is heavy from carrying
beat me a lot this year. Usually I suck, but it was a drinking fest, several shots. We were just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
We took 16 out of 30. So basically split, but we technically won. No crazy highlights except I hit probably one of the longest drives of my life on hole 1. Just to the entire way up to, so I was like 35 yards past the telephone pole. It's like 188 out, hitting 2. And my dad is just, pumping me up. Greatest drive I've ever seen, Alex. Oh my God. Just freaking out about it. To the point where, like, that's all I'm thinking about. And I just go up and I just top my second shot.
You're a mental midget, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you you're like one of those guys that like to be like brought down to make you play better as opposed
I would
to
just prefer you just didn't talk about it in general.
Silence.
Yeah, that'd be better. You can talk to me, just you don't have to be like, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
So yeah, Dad, I've been hitting those weights hard.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Pretty good round.
Are we talking like well over 300 yards here, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, I would say it was over 300 yards.
That's pretty nice.
It was until I made a 6.
Smash.
Made a bogey.
Whoa.
I part number 1. Never forget. I'm better than
I said that already. What do you mean? I said I topped my next shot and made bogey.
Oh.
Doesn't mean you can still make bogey. You said you topped it. You never said you made bogey.
Well, right. Imagine the mental state after the top. It couldn't have been any better.
Hearing a 6 out loud is just more of a... But it was a par 5, so...
It's just a bogey.
I played some golf. Played some golf this weekend. It was of the putt-putt variety. I visited the course that Alex spoke of last week and kind of compared myself to their scores. So bad side of my round is I shot 9 over 49 on a par 40, which would have been last of the group, the foursome that played it last week. Good news is Marissa, who I played against, I tied with, and she had 3 hole-in-ones. So I managed to not lose to someone who had 3 hole-in-ones, which felt like an accomplishment driving home.
You played really bad, it sounds like. You should not feel good about anything.
A funny highlight was last hole on the 18th. If we were dead tied, and we both shot 5s. So that showed
5 on that hole?
Which is, well, you had to make it in like 3 different holes to get out of the hole. And 5 is the max that you can hit at the course. So once we got the 5, it was like, we're done. I
lipped out for a 1 on that hole.
Well, that I don't think is even possible the way the hole is designed.
The top right hole.
Goes all the way to the bottom?
Goes all the way to the bottom.
Would have been good to know, Alex.
And I lipped out.
Would have been really good to know.
Give them some cool
which one is
man.
Also, a bunch of... I figured out what rattled me was along the course. It was also terrible course. It's like the Danny's Irish Pub. It's Royal Oak Golf Center. I'm going to bleep that out. Bleep that out because no one should ever go here because it's absolutely terrible golf course. But there was a bunch of like overgrown trees along the back 9, and they would like tickle my neck as I'm trying to putt. And I just can't make putts when that's going on, and I really collapsed some down the stretch. So, and I didn't have a single... Some of these holes were designed for you to make a hole-in-one on, the way they slope the greens. I still couldn't make one, no matter how good of a ball I hit, so that was tough.
Did they give you the right putter length?
I chose my own, and I went with longest, because in the past I've been too hunched over, and I think I like being hunched over, because I felt like I should have gone one size down.
Talk about a mental midget. Putter size is rattling you.
And mental midget. I kind of knew this was the case on the warm-up hole, and I was like too prideful to go back and be like, no, I'm going to take the black. I'm going to go with the green.
Just bring your own putter and be a hardo.
Well, no, that you should actually be arrested for doing that. You guys should be.
More people lastly, do it than you think.
I saw Detroit's hottest team, the Detroit Tigers, on Friday. I went to an absolute mercy rule game. I kid you not. In the second inning, when it was home run derby for the Blue Jays, Marissa looks at me and she goes, "Is there a mercy rule in Major League Baseball?" I said, "No, there should be for this situation because the Blue Jays hit 3 home runs in 1 inning and back-to-back home runs off of Elvin Rodriguez. He might have been tipping his pitches again. Neither here nor there."
Why is he even pitching?
Is he the one retired?
No, that's Eduardo. We'll get to Eduardo. This is Elvin Rodriguez. It's a little confusing. But there was a rain delay. Was almost hoping it would get canceled, but I did kind of want my money's worth. We got to see friend of the program, Cody, during the intermission of this, so that was cool to see. Cody with the C, longtime listener. And I'd like to say, as I tweeted out on our account, it's 100% confirmed that all of Chris Illich's Little Caesars money for now being the sponsor of the NFL, which is a huge... It went there to get that deal, and it also went towards Friday Night Fireworks because it was the first time they've done Friday Night Fireworks since 2019 due to COVID. And boy, did they put on this show of a lifetime. They played music, like they synced up the fireworks to music, which was a really cool touch. They played fireworks for 3 to 4 straight songs. So almost 12 minutes of nonstop fireworks, which is gotta be, I don't know, firework pricing. I felt like a 20 grand show. It felt like 20 grand. It was a lot.
Sounds impressive.
I mean,
sounds like you got your money's worth just from the fireworks show.
They flipped the lights on to like leave, and it was just pure smoke like throughout the whole Comerica Park. It was pretty insane how the fireworks were. So that was at least cool. That's what you got to do when your team loses 10-1. And I think we pivot right into that for our first quick hitting topic. A listener wrote in, and they said that I hope Alex has started his boycott after the performance today against the White Sox. Official statement from Alex.
The boycott started basically during Grant's Home Run Derby Fest and fireworks show. I mean, if we're being completely honest, the boycott started a month ago, and I was just convinced to not boycott yet. But yeah, the boycott is on, and there's no coming back from it unless you guys come up with some crazy spin zone, but I can't see it. So.
Spin zone, they locked the doors to media this afternoon. This team's going to get rally, and we're going to play championship baseball from here on out.
Oh, they did? They did like a we're not talking players only meeting?
Yep.
Anybody have anything else?
Alex,
that could get
I am team boycott. I'm done with this team.
All right, welcome.
Riley Green's going to come back.
That was going to be my only point that I could say that I would consider watching.
Evan, I also heard they're going to try to extend him because of this the whole arbitration rules. So they're going to try to like limit his service time because he's right on the cutoff or something. So with that in mind as well, I am out on this team. I am done. I am not wasting my time. I realized today that the Tigers did have plenty of money because Chris Ilitch is now, like I said, Little Caesars is the official NFL, which is like $1 billion deal to have to pay for that probably. So we don't have any money. That's where all of it. Carlos Correa, Javi Baez. No, we'll just be the official sponsor of the NFL. Which you can't hate the guy for that business decision, but I would have loved to see Carlos Correa instead of Javi Baez right now.
Or both.
Middle infield.
Sell the team.
And with them, the news, we had the official. We basically were there, but we officially know Casey Mize is going to have Tommy John surgery. I don't know if you have any other updates, Evan. I mean, we kind of got you were braced for it based on last show.
Had a nice viral tweet about it.
I was going to say people love Casey Mize and want
or they
him
just
to
think
recover
that picture
well.
of him is funny.
It really is. He put it on his own Instagram. I was like, you know what? This is kind of a funny photo. Let's wish him well.
Wow, 263
Speedy
likes.
recovery, full of health. His arms can be stronger than ever.
He said he wants to pitch next year, so maybe we'll see him in 2023.
I mean, he's got what?
Did you see some of the comments on our tweet?
Yeah, some people are kind of being mean. I don't want to draw attention to them. Some are being funny.
Butt chin on Max. He is overrated, but I hope for speedy recovery.
Yo, he does have a butt chin. That picture I zoomed in.
Wow. He's got a
Think of man while he's down, bro.
It's a Bill O'Brien level chin.
Look at that thick butt chin.
He's got sweet hair though.
No, he's got great chat.
My favorite one is this person saying, McDonald's is my go-to after an outpatient procedure. Comfort food after anesthesia.
They're probably serious.
That's someone who's had a lot of surgeries in their day. Like they have a go-to food. Although I would always have my mom take me to get like a milkshake from McDonald's after appointments in Tecumseh, so I can relate to that. Donor 57 says 2024, maybe if it works. As in the surgery. Yeah, so that happened. And then also, it's kind of hard to get into too deep because we don't know. There was a juicy New York Post article about it that I read that you still don't know a ton. But Eduardo Rodriguez, I saw something new. He's on the restricted list. I didn't even know what the restricted list was in MLB. I had to go research it.
No.
So what it means is he's not getting paid.
Okay, good.
Because he's on this list.
Ilitch likes him
Now,
already.
Here's the thing, though. Like, his contract is guaranteed, so I don't know how that works. Like, he may not be getting his, like, weekly paychecks, but I don't know what it means when you guarantee a full contract. Who knows? It basically says it's as close as you can get to releasing somebody with still keeping their rights. So it basically means you're completely off the team, but someone would have to trade for you technically to get you back.
Interesting.
And John Hyman, reporter of the New York Post, caught a lot of heat for reporting on it, which I'm going to take his side where, like, it is news. It's personal life. He's away from the team right now due to a marital issue is what being alleged in the New York Post. That he's having problems with his wife, something in his marriage. He is not with the team right now. So the crazy season for the Tigers gets crazier.
No need to speculate.
No need to speculate. And I just want to say, though, people were getting mad at John Hyman. I fell in the camp of like, hey, the reason people are speculating right now is because no one's talking about why it is. Like, you kind of, when you're getting paid a bunch of money, like millions and millions of dollars, your personal life becomes more public, like any famous person. So it's like, if you don't want rumors to start, maybe tell us what's going on. But that's the update on Eduardo Rodriguez. It's pretty crazy. Brand new in our lifetimes. I don't think I've heard of anyone else going on the restricted list. What we can say as a podcast, we hope all is well with Eduardo and that he figures out whatever he needs off the field to get back to the Tigers.
Correct.
We need him, so hopefully he gets back.
We do
get
need
better
arms.
at pitching while you're gone.
Thank you, Alex. NBA Finals. Is Steph Curry confirmed the greatest shooter ever?
Yes.
Already
has
was.
been.
Okay,
Yeah.
just clearing up. There's some people. There's
He's
some
the
old
best player in the
heads.
NBA right now. Let's just get that out of the way.
Whoa. Well, you mean of the people still playing?
No,
In
I
the
think
entire
it's,
NBA.
No,
Evan has a point.
guys.
He
Giannis
is the best
better.
player in the NBA.
Giannis is better.
Giannis couldn't carry his team past the Celtics.
Giannis also had
Giannis did it last year.
Giannis would have
This year. Grant's
Giannis,
only a playoff-focused guy.
Giannis would have if Chris Middleton was healthy. Steph hasn't had to go through a debilitating injury.
Who's
to like
Steph's
their
number
second.
2 guy? A debilitated Klay Thompson?
He's not debilitated.
He's not debilitated. He had like the 20 bomb last night.
He's
or
still
the
like their
last
best
game.
defenseman.
He made
wing
5
player.
threes.
That ring cracks me up. Just seeing your ring.
What do you want me to do with it, dude?
So sick. No, keep wearing it.
No, it's funny.
No, but Alex, he's not debilitated.
He's not like super good at the moment. He's not a superstar.
Steph,
Yes, he is.
who?
Is Klay a superstar right now?
Yes.
He would be.
Every
Well,
in
Alex,
the
you know who's
NBA would take
actually-
him.
You know who's actually playing superstar ball right now is Andrew Wiggins. That guy's hooping.
Fine. I can agree with that.
Like,
But
he's
would
basically
you-
doing Chris Middleton stats. So, like,
If you're
yeah, if you took-
drafting right now
Giannis.
between the Warriors and Bucks, Steph and Giannis are captains. Who's the next pick?
the next pick.
Yeah. Who are you taking? You have the 3rd pick.
Anybody off the Warriors?
If Chris Middleton's fully healthy, I might take Chris Middleton because I've seen him drop like 30 plus in the NBA Finals game.
I think I would take
more
Middleton
recently.
next. And then
But you could, but watch,
and
we
then a
get-
lot of Warriors
Oh,
after
so
that.
you taking Clay after 2 of the best players we're ever going to watch means he's not a superstar. Ah, gotcha.
No, he would be 4th.
That makes sense. That
he might
makes
be
sense.
5th.
When we go superstar, I think
I think
Curry,
all pro, like all NBA, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd team. I don't know if he's there right now.
I think Curry and Giannis are the only 2 superstars in this discussion. I think the
agree.
rest are like great players, former All-Stars. But if Clay goes for like classic Game 6 Clay, it's a quick reactionary league. We might be like, well, yeah, he's a star.
Either way, Evan, I was arguing for you. I agree. Steph is at a different level right now than even Giannis.
No, Giannis is still better. Giannis, because he brings way more defensively than Steph can bring. And it's not a fault of Steph. Steph is the
Steph
greatest
can't
shooter.
play defense. That's true.
He can play. He's just not great. Steph Curry is the best shooter I've ever seen in my life. And so anyone that says like Larry Bird or any of the other guys, no, not even close. Ray Allen, no. Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time.
But no one's arguing that.
I still see floated out like people.
Well, then what do you look at?
My eyes. I just watch, and Steph is the best shooter I've ever
No,
seen.
who says that he isn't?
Oh,
where are
it
you
just
getting
comes
this
up
information?
online, the internet.
Okay,
people.
so like a guy with 6 followers on Twitter,
just making
with,
sure we
no
were on the
picture.
same page. Next question for the NBA Finals really is Jason Tatum. Is he a top 5 player? Where's that
No.
debate shifted?
Absolutely not. Jaylen Brown's better than him.
Jaylen
Did you
Brown.
watch Jaylen Brown last game, bro?
Okay, did you see Jason Tatum in some of these games?
Okay, you can't make the same argument for the same
Fine,
reason, Alex.
Jason Tatum's better
Don't
than
do
Jaylen
that.
Brown. Is Jason Tatum a
Be
top 5
better
player in
with
the
your sports
NBA?
takes.
No,
Be better with your sports takes.
I
he's
still
not
think
a top 5 player in the NBA.
Yes,
I-
he's 5th.
The only 2 people in this county that think that are you 2.
He's
well,
fifth.
and also all the NBA voters because he was voted All Pro. But
That's for this season. I'm talking If you're drafting a team, I wouldn't draft him in the top 5.
Really?
Really? That's why I just said it.
Who are you taking ahead of Jason Tatum?
I'm taking
Curry and Giannis.
Steph, Giannis. I'm still taking Durant. I'm taking Jokic. And I'm taking LeBron still over him.
I am not taking LeBron.
But Alex,
you guys hate him.
Are you just trying to win one title in 1 year?
You just asked me 5 players, and I just named 5 players.
But if you're starting a team, those
I
guys
didn't
are old.
think about, we'll win a championship in the first year, and then I'll ride off into the sunset with my millions of dollars.
Tatum got his team to the playoffs.
The finals.
To the finals.
Yeah.
Jokic
He's 24.
has not.
Okay.
He's younger than us.
Jokic is very good, and he's just
I'm
won
not
the
arguing
MVP
that.
twice.
I am not arguing that.
Jokic is a top 5 player.
Everybody relax. He is
Jokic is a top 5 player.
LeBron is not a top 5 player.
The other two.
Anymore.
LeBron is
not.
not.
Out of your head.
Kevin Durant is not right now.
You guys hate LeBron. That's not an argument for you two.
He also just
did his team make the playoffs this year?
He didn't make the playoffs, Alex.
Did he sit out like the last 2 weeks?
Okay, I'll take Joel Embiid.
No, he's good too.
He's not top 5.
Is he top 10?
He hasn't won a thing in his NBA career. Like a thing.
Jason Tatum, when
Joel
he loses
Embiid,
this,
Jason Tatum has won the Eastern Conference.
Fine.
Over Jimmy Butler. In Miami.
Joel Embiid couldn't even win a series against basically Kawhi's Raptors with Ben Simmons, who was good then.
It's fine. Doesn't matter. Luka, better than Jason Tatum.
Yeah, but he's in the top 5.
Okay, then there you go. There's a new 5 with LeBron out of it, and it's still 5 more than Jason Tatum.
Well, I would still argue KD because KD got swept by Jason Tatum's team.
Yep, because one series is the definition of who's better. Makes a lot of sense. That's a great argument, Grant.
I will say this in your defense.
It's a terrible one.
I think Jason Tatum's like on the fence right now of 5-6, and if he has a good game 6, he's firmly in it, and that'll take him throughout the way. But if he has a clunker in game 6, then it's open for more debate. But right now, he's shown enough in this finals to impact the game in a bunch of different ways that he just needs to get better at layups, which is a tough part.
How is he top 5 though?
One, he was voted all pro, so everyone in the league thought.
I'm not talking about this single season. We're talking about best basketball players by our eyeballs, not stat stuffers.
Well, and also winning basketball. Like he's playing
that chubby doughboy is a freaking stat stuffer.
Oh, Luka? Yeah. Luka does stat stuff in.
He's talking about Jokic.
Or he's talking about Jokic.
Both.
I'm talking about Luka.
Both could be in that category.
Luka and Jokic passed the eye test right now. They get bailed out for not having won anything in their careers.
Luka took a garbage team to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. He did better this year. He is firmly in 5. Jokic is in 5. I would have Steph and Giannis and then Jason Tatum. He's the 5th.
You and Evan, and that's it. But I respect it. You're sticking to it.
Have to. And Jason Tatum passes the eye test too. He does a lot of things on a basketball court.
Yeah, I mean, he is very good. No one's debating if he's a top 10 player. I think he is.
Oh, he 100%. You don't have to say think. He's a top 10 player in the NBA. You legitimately cannot think of 10 players better than Jason Tatum.
I just said he was in the top 10. Why can't you just take your wins and just leave them?
Because you said, I think he is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know the list.
No, stop your assumptions. He is a top 10 player in the NBA.
You would hate the list that some guy wrote.
Yeah, there's like the list you sent me today. People get paid to do
someone put James Harden 6.
Yeah, James Harden's is
actually your company. James Harden's put James Harden 6.
James Harden's not a winning basketball player.
Ja's
out. He's not better than Jason Tatum. I'll tell you that.
Booker,
not better than Jason.
What
Tatum.
about Jimmy Butt?
Nope, not better than Jason Tatum.
Oh, I don't know. Evan would argue it.
I'm not arguing it. He's up there. He's definitely top 10. He's underrated.
He showed a lot this
He's underrated. He's
underrated and always
also, we have to keep in mind Jason Tatum's shoulder is absolutely effed this whole playoff since the Heat series. He grabs it every single game and it's obvious. So I think that's and if you look at his stats before that game and after that game, he's been a different guy. He's grinding right now. But nevertheless, NHL quickly, I've been told that this Stanley Cup playoffs that starts tonight could be one of the best finals of all time. Have you guys heard the same buzz? This might be the best finals of all time.
It's going to be fun to watch, I believe.
It's going to be exciting.
Are the Lightning the best team of all time if they win 3 in a row?
No. No. They're
Feels
not
like
they're not the best team of all time.
They had, in your words, a COVID cupcake championship as well.
Best dynasty, best run of all time?
No, because the Islanders back in the 80s won 4 in a row.
But no salary cap. Not
Correct.
32 teams.
That's why they can't be the best team of all time, because when you look at the best team, you got to do the talent on the team.
Right.
Now, they can have like 10 or 11 Hall of Famers on this team.
So it could be argued most impressive run given the new salary cap and the new 32 teams.
If they sweep them, I'll declare them the greatest team of all time.
You can declare them the best team in the salary cap era.
Yeah.
Fine. We'll say that.
Spicy take. Is the reason Stevie Y is still waiting for coach because he's going to try to poach John Cooper after his third straight title?
Yeah, everything that I've been seeing is their assistant coach.
The Lightning's assistant coach?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Find the name.
Guy knows how to win. From a winning organization.
That's just not a really flashy hire for an organization of such prestige.
Alex, you need a guy that's going to be here for 5 or 6 years at least to try to build this thing up. You can't just hire some sexy name that can
Why not the Hurricanes coach?
Well, you're saying
we've had time to hire him and we haven't yet. So I am saying he's not.
You just get my hopes up every week, and now you dropped it all the way to the bottom to some random assistant.
That's what I've been.
Don't even know his name.
No, I can look it up.
Alex, do you want another Ron Gardenhire? No, I don't.
Yes, you don't want a placeholder. There's too much talent on this team.
We're not in the placeholder position. The Tigers are a dumpster fired organization. They'll never be good again. So, no reason to talk about that.
God, you really leaned into the boycott.
Well, they're really disappointing, Grant.
Well, Evan looks up the name. Carrier Classic, rumored back in the streets, potentially. Michigan
Not in
State,
the streets.
On an aircraft.
On the water.
Michigan State, do not let Mark Few drive the boat versus Gonzaga on an aircraft carrier. All I have to say about this is young Grant thought that this was the coolest.
I just got that joke. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you.
Yeah, DUI.
Sorry, I was multitasking and I heard you say that.
Young Grant thought that this game, when it happened versus North Carolina, was like one of the coolest things I've seen. So I'm excited for it to come back.
I just remember the floor was wet the whole time, and they just had to like keep like wiping it up. And they had to
it's a health. It's a health problem for you guys. It's risky.
I think this is him,
but it's for the troops.
Yeah, no, it would be awesome. I hope it happens. Cool.
You just hope everyone stays healthy because, like you said, the wet floors were why they haven't done it since. But they have to have new technology for that.
I was going to say, they got to be able to figure that out.
If Tom Cruise can land and take off on one of those things, we can play a basketball game.
They should just play on pavement. You know? Herrick ball.
The logistics, though, are so crazy. Like the weather, like...
It's weather determined.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, they pulled it off once. It's just cool. I hope it happens. I hope it does happen.
Looks awesome. So I hope they do.
Cool photos. Make a nice wallpaper, nice cover photo for you guys on Twitter.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
And then of other quick hitting ones, one statement from me before we rip through some listener questions, because I think long listener Jason ripped off 6 questions today all about the same thing. Anyways, Man City, my favorite soccer team. Erling Haaland, it's official. He's coming to Man City.
You need to talk about this on the pod.
Well, it wasn't official. I've seen him in a uniform now. He's actually there. It's real. I'm very excited. I just wanted to get that out there. And if you guys don't have a soccer team, for the listeners out there, you might want to become a Man City fan.
Their money is just as dirty as the Livs money.
Wow.
Anyways, next question.
Wow. Speaking of soccer, then, the first listener question we have. It's curious to see how this goes. Talk about the future of... Well, okay, this is because the MLS just signed a $250 million deal with Apple TV. So Apple is investing in MLS soccer.
They're going to play every game.
They're trying to grow the game in America. So this person would like to say, talk about the future of MLS soccer in Detroit. Where would we build a stadium? / would the city back the team up? / would they ever be on the same level as one of the 4 main sports? I'll toss it to you guys. While I look up what Detroit FC is, because I know there's a Detroit FC.
It's like a very small.
The USL.
Yeah, but they tied or beat a MLS team this year, and it was a big deal. First time it ever happened, and I think in Detroit FC or Detroit Soccer.
Detroit Soccer is new. In terms of a stadium, do you think they'd build one, or do you think they would just
They have a very, very small stadium right now. Depends on who
So
would
is this
take.
the Detroit FC would just get promoted? Is what we're saying.
Detroit City FC is one step below MLS,
Correct.
They're like
get
the minor
promoted.
leagues of MLS.
which is that's a deep cut.
So they would get promoted. So they would have to just use all the same stuff they have and basically get relegated every year. Are they going full Premier League style?
No, I don't think
That'd be pretty
MLS is that
sick.
way.
They should. From what I see, based on the photos I'm seeing of Keyworth Stadium in Hamtramck, they probably would need a new stadium because it's pretty old. But it looks like they have a lot of supporters at the game. So I do think the city, there'd be enough people here to support it. Will I be one of them? No. I don't have enough time in my life to care about Detroit soccer. So I don't want to be disrespectful to this person, but there's so many things I care more about in my life than the future of MLS soccer in Detroit.
I would watch MLS soccer in Detroit.
You're a liar.
I'm not saying I'd be a diehard fan, but if it was on TV, I would at least like turn it on for a minute, watch it for a second.
No.
Probably follow him on Twitter.
I absolutely would not. I didn't care about the
It
Michigan
just sucks the MLS isn't good.
USFL team. I didn't care at all.
Michigan
And-
Panthers are the worst team of all time.
Yeah.
You're
When
garbage.
you take Shea Patterson #1 overall.
And they cut him. And they complain that he's telling the defensive coordinator all the play calls because you haven't changed your play calls from week to week. What are you freaking doing, you bums?
Is Shea Patterson on a new team?
Yes, he has got cut.
Evan, are you going to
We
be a
cut the #1 overall
Detroit
pick.
footy
What a
fan?
Joke.
I would be a Detroit footy fan, but I don't know the extent. I would need a superstar on the team or somebody that I know to cheer for.
Yeah, if you bring in Messi, I'll be a fan.
Yeah. But
Resign Messi.
other
Talent
than
isn't
that,
high enough in the MLS.
Imagine Messi living in Detroit.
be your neighbor. Grant would see him out in town, Alex.
Barcelona.
Grant sees everybody.
Facts.
In town
I did
now.
see Tyler Bertuzzi.
You're
if he
full
has
of
a kid.
lies, Grant.
If he has a kid.
This can't just happen 3 times
Bertuzzi
and
doesn't
expect
have a
everyone to
kid,
believe
I don't
it.
think.
If he doesn't have a kid, it's not him. But if he has a kid, it's him.
Grant's seen Isaiah Thomas, Aaron Glenn, and Bertuzzi.
Well, Aaron Glenn's your neighbor, so get him on the
Sure, I
podcast.
have
Wait,
seen.
He hasn't seen him since.
I did. In his living room.
What?
I have to cut that or clarification. Like their front house is all windows, so you can see right in their house.
You went in his living room? Holy.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to be really mad about MLS soccer in Detroit is I think it was Atlanta. Atlanta FC won the MLS championship, and their city said it like snapped Atlanta's pro sports drought. If anyone tries to pull that in Detroit, I'll punch him in the face in person because you will not count an MLS Cup as snapping Detroit's sports drought. That so to answer the question, it'll never be on the same level as one of the 4 main sports. It's just not as exciting.
I think
And
you
the
could
talent
get the
comes.
boys to a game, though. I think you could. If you built a nice, sexy stadium on the water,
I think we would
On
go
the river?
to a game.
On the river, I'm in.
I think you could. Like a nice little bar scene down there, you know? I think
there you
could
go.
get us there.
Build it on the
Well, you
water.
could
and
get
I'm
me
in.
there. There's no doubt I would go to a game.
I would have to be boozed up.
Oh, yeah.
A
But
couple shots at the tin roof.
Yep.
It's just not super exciting. But now to what is exciting, college football for you guys. The recruiting streak continues. It's a slew of questions here. We'll go through them fast. Some are kind of funny in jest, maybe serious, who knows. But the first one is Mel Tucker the new king of college football?
Not yet. He's got to win a national championship and then
Not there
king of
yet.
college football.
it's too early.
Why?
Too early,
Why?
Jason.
Why is Mel Tucker the new king of college football? See first answer.
He's great with recruits. I can tell you that. He's great with marketing, great with media, great with knowing what goes well with young athletes. And I think some coaches are way behind in that. And, you know, people are making fun of him. Some fan bases are out there saying, oh, dude, he's doing all these photo shoots for his personal gains. Like, no, there's a reason wwhy he's doing this. He's doing this for recruiting for athletes.
Yeah, Penn State fans are the worst. I hate when they say that.
Michigan.
Speaking of which, did you guys see the Barstool PSU account post that thing
I
about
did.
how
they hate
all
Michigan. All my homies hate Michigan.
Penn State wants a rival with Michigan so bad, and it's actually adorable that they want to try that hard. They're like not even top 3 rivalry with Michigan. I don't know what they're doing, but it makes me hate them, so it's working.
There would be 4, maybe 4.
Yes, 100%. It'd be
Give 'em
Ohio
4.
State, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Penn
Yeah.
State.
That's what I was
Notre Dame ducks us because they're soft as hell. So maybe Penn State will jump them one day. Oh, maybe now. No, Notre Dame, Michigan, CJ Carr, they actually need to revive that series. That's going to be an electric factor.
They are reviving it, but I think it's going to be a year late for when he's like eligible to play. Or he's going to be a junior or senior. I think you guys play him in like 2027.
Yeah. Will Michigan State football win a Big Ten title this year or next year?
Next year, no. CJ Stroud's still on the team. I think next year there's solid chance. I'm not saying I don't know what the rest of the
PT comes back.
Like.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Alex.
But yeah,
if Thorne is back, you got a good shot. As good a shot as most.
But I can see one within the next 4 years. Just talent that's coming in.
Yeah, this year, no.
CJ Stroud's way better.
PT could be the Kirk Cousins that lets Connor Cook, Caton Hauser run. Maybe
that's not what happened.
Was it close enough though?
Kirk Cousins, Andrew Maxwell moved aside to let Connor Cook run.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and compare someone to Andrew Maxwell.
Andrew Maxwell had to walk so Connor Cook could run.
Kirk Cousins took Michigan State to the Big Ten championship game. He just lost.
Because of Isaiah Lewis.
Yeah, that could be Peyton Thorne then.
Damn, 2011 Big Ten championship game.
Are you more excited to watch MSU football or basketball this year?
Football, just solely bias, 100% all bias. I'll be in the stadium for all the home games. This is going to be my first year in 4 years that I will not be at all the home games for basketball.
Football, there's just so much buzz in the offseason. There's not much like basketball offseason buzz because it's taken over by football.
And also, like, whenever a football program is good, I think the sport's just way more exciting. So, there's less games, so you put priority on that.
Yeah, each week is a panic roller coaster ride. It's awesome.
So I'm sure in the past for MSU, it's been basketball because if the football is bad, but like whenever football is competent, it's always football. And now we switch to the Michigan side. Got some chops in. Alex, did you have something there?
No.
Why is Jim Harbaugh just not recruiting kids in the class of 2023? Do you think he thinks he already has enough talent on the current roster to just skip recruiting the class of 2023, which is an awesome spin zone. I love throwing that in there.
I think he is recruiting kids in the class of 2023, whoever's had this sarcastic question.
Yeah. Similar
and then
theme.
Breaking news rumor that is good for Michigan, I guess, is a guy that Michigan State was rumored to get yesterday is now Michigan lean, getting a bunch of crystal balls. So,
wow. Can you say his name?
Yeah, Eno Etta.
Oh, I saw a ball for him. I saw a ball for him to block him a couple.
Right, and then yesterday there was massive buzz that he was going to cancel his Michigan visit this weekend, commit to Michigan State, but now it's swung all the way back with Stanford hanging out in the background.
All right. From the Michigan fan perspective in this, well, one real reason, which you already talked about many shows ago, when your coach almost takes an NFL job, it's going to be pretty easy for other coaches to negatively recruit you and say, hey, you don't know if that quirky guy is even going to be there throughout your 4 years or 3 years if you're NFL eligible after that. Okay. Two, I saw a tweet. I think it was a Michigan fan account, like double BB something, BB House. They gave a pretty good list of how Michigan likes to timeline-wise recruit kids, and most of Michigan's signings under Harbaugh have not even started till mid-June. So we're getting close to the season until you should start being worried. And then a lot of them even like don't sign until after the season in December, January. I mean, they didn't sign Rashawn Gary until February. And, I know he was like the number one recruit, and that's how number one recruits go. But for a lot of recruits under Harbaugh, they haven't started recruiting them almost into like July at the earliest. So I wouldn't fully panic as a Michigan fan until you reach that point. So
no reason to panic.
Yeah. It's off-season recruiting. It is fun, though. Like, in the same way I don't really care, I understand fully why you guys care, because it's very fun when you get recruits. I'm just saying, on the other side, don't go crazy that you're not getting them, which makes it tough when Michigan State is getting all of them.
That's the only reason Michigan fans are panicking is because Michigan State is getting a flurry of commitments all at once.
And CJ Carr, because people actually had him like bookmarked to be a Michigan Wolverine.
Well, right.
So
what a miss.
see how it plays out. Alex gave the deadline August 1st, then you panic. Stick to that.
If it's August 1st and you don't have any new ones, then you're not doing a good job.
No. All right. Pistons draft preview. We've talked about it a couple shows ago, so we won't go crazy in depth. We'll just do our generic questions of like who you want, who you think, in different scenarios. So I will start with that obvious question. We'll go with who do you guys want the Pistons to draft? And this is tough because you could then give like if they trade this guy, you could have multiple. I want them to draft if they trade Jeremy Grant. I want them to draft if they don't trade Jeremy Grant. Go a bunch of different ways, but I'm just curious overall where your thoughts at as we're a week away.
Evan, you can lead.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and I've changed my opinion completely based off of who's playing in the finals right now.
I love that. I love this. Live pivots.
Just the Celtics completely drafted their entire roster. Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, all their wing players, Patrick Williams, right?
Robert.
Patrick Williams.
Patrick's on the Bulls. You're there.
Yeah, I'm close enough.
You're there.
And I want them to do the same thing and follow that blueprint from the Celtics. Draft all your talent. I think you have two solid players. You have a superstar in Kate Cunningham. You have a very solid wing player in Sadiq Bey. So I want that third wing player that can round out the versatility of the offense. And I think it's Jaden Ivey now.
Yes. Wow. I'm in the same camp.
You guys have gone full Ivy mode.
He's more athletic, and everyone's like, oh, he can't shoot as well. There is nothing that you can't do in the gym that just makes everybody shoot better. Jaden Tatum found a shot.
Even Draymond had a shot for a few minutes.
Then he had shoulder injuries, and now he can't find it. I mean, you can never have too many athletes on the court at once. He can be like the Marcus Smart kind of like defensive guy, but can also like hurt you when he's wide open. He can slash a little bit better. He's younger, quicker, faster, stronger. I just like the length and I like the versatility of him covering more positions than two.
I think he'd fit like a glove.
And he's just another ball handler on the court. Yeah, now it's like the NBA where it's like, oh, it's not really like positions or who's bringing up the court. But also when you're looking at why the Celtics basically lost the last game is because they had like 19 turnovers. You need people that can handle the ball consistently.
They're sloppy with the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm all in on Jaden Ivey. Yes, the shooting questions me, but we also watched him just get to the rack at will whenever he wanted to and turn the corner.
He's got a solid looking jumper too. So like, I usually get worried about bad shooters if their jumper looks disgusting. Like if mine looks better than theirs. Jaden's looks okay. Like it looks solid. It doesn't look that bad. So there's room to be done there. And he was shooting a lot off the dribble as well, which is tougher for most people. Alex?
And you probably say once every two shows that the Pistons they lack like super athletic players.
It's true, they do.
Fits the mold there.
He does.
Evan?
I would also say like one thing that's probably hurting Jaden Ivey, if you're watching his tape, you're watching what he did for Purdue. Purdue had two big post players just clogging up the lane.
Yep.
So there's not a little like the 5-out NBA, like the positionless center, basically. Like he's gonna have more room offensively when he gets to the NBA. Like if he was in Iowa system, if you flip Keegan Murray and Jaden Ivey would even be better, and I don't know how much better. I don't think Keegan Murray would be where he is at today.
Yeah.
The offenses are just totally different.
And if you think about the way the Pistons are building, as of now, they don't have like a lane clogging center. So that plays in like something that I can stretch a little bit.
They could in 20 seconds here if they get Ayton. But
yeah, I saw that we were the favorite to get him at plus 230 according to some odds book. I saw this morning.
That is intense too, because it pretty much seems like he's going to be out of there. Like it's all like he's not going back to Phoenix.
He's going to be gone.
Alex, so you're Ivy.
I'm Ivy. Yeah, Evan basically said everything I was going to say.
Who do you guys think we will draft?
It all depends on
what are we at 5
that fall.
We're at 5.
I think based
on anything you've seen, any smoke.
Will draft. Oh well.
I think it's going to be Murray because I think Ivy's going to go 4th.
I think Ivy was. Who I think would be Murray. Ivy's going to be gone. If Ivy's gone, it's going to be Murray. The sexy would be Sharp. Would be another guy that like.
I'm out on that after I said I was interested last time.
Yeah,
It
you
would
were
just
in,
be
I'm sure.
it would be
I'm
just
out
like the
now.
diamond in the rough situation is my takeaway on that.
Let's see the latest mock from CBS.
Well, wait.
Sports.
I got some news I brought to the table. That's going to factor into these.
Ew,
Alex just had a
you'll
gross reaction
not
to
be
a
happy
mouse.
if that's who we take at 5. That's a bad mock draft.
If it is, then I might
Dyson
like it.
Daniels.
Oh, no. All right, so here we go. I'm going to lay it out. And I stayed last because I differ a little bit from you guys right at this moment, which is good for the show. So, the latest intel from Jonathan Giovoni from ESPN. Now, I do not subscribe to ESPN Plus because I have too many subscriptions. But thankfully, a bunch of the NBA is like the King aggregation league where people will basically take his article and write their own articles, like NBA Rumor Central. They'll write it for you. So I just basically read his article through other people's. This is about Jay and Ivy and the Kings, who picked number 4. Because it pretty much seems in this draft there's a guaranteed 3. The Thunder can mess that up. The Thunder are crazy. Sam Presti does whatever he wants. He could take Jay and Ivy in the top 3. But what it sounds like is going to be like, in any order, Chet, Paolo, Jabari, and then it's open. Now, the Kings are at 4 in front of us. This is the latest from Jonathan Giovoni, who's pretty plugged in. To recap, this is a summary from the Kings Herald, which is a Sacramento blog. So I went deep for this. Jay and Ivy has basically said he prefers the Kings not to draft him. He hasn't done any of their medical work. He didn't go visit them from what I've read. He's just telling them he does not want to be picked to Sacramento, which normally I'd be like, that's kind of a diva move, but Sacramento's so bad.
One of the organizations in all of sports.
That's like getting drafted by Houston, Cleveland, or Detroit in football.
So I don't blame Jay and Ivy for that. That's fine. The Kings are making their pick available for any team that may want to go get Ivy because they're going to be like, we're going to take Ivy to get people to come up. I believe their owner and the new head coach, Mike Brown, are fans of Keegan Murray. But the GM, unclear.
Screw the GM, fire him.
And Jonathan Giovoni
already cooked up in my head for you guys.
Jonathan Giovoni he still mocked Ivy to the Kings, but he's letting us know that Ivy is not, and also they drafted Davion Mitchell last year, and they have De'Aaron Fox, so their backcourt is pretty full right now. So we'll see what happens there. He could be available at 5. Alex, you had a hypothetical for us.
Yeah, based on what you said,
yep.
Would you, if the Kings were willing, would you trade the 5th pick and Jeremy Grant to go up to 4 to secure your person? Evan, really, it's just for Evan.
No.
I'm glad you asked
assuming
that.
you get something back from the Kings, a player I'm not familiar with their roster. Is Buddy Hield still there?
No,
I don't want Buddy Hield's contract. I would say
Dante
no.
DiVincenzo. I think he's there.
I would still say no and force the Kings' hand of who they draft, and we keep the 5th pick.
You're comfortable with Murray at 5, potentially.
Yes, I'm comfortable with Murray at 5, and then we still have Jeremy Grant to move on later in the draft. Somebody else that wants him, a playoff team later in the draft that needs a big push, or somebody that wants to make the playoffs.
It would suck, though, to get stuck with Murray and Grant because they're basically going to play the same position.
That's why you trade.
But if you can't, we're not going to sell them for peanuts.
Evan, would you take Davion Mitchell?
They would not do that.
Yes.
They are a terrible organization.
Yes. Davion Mitchell and
the 4th pick for Jeremy Grant in the
Sold.
5th pick.
Sold.
De'Aaron Fox.
Davion Mitchell is a dog.
He'd be a ball handler, a little shorter, but he plays good defense. So then there's your backcourt.
Well, your
That'd be
backcourt
kinda cool.
would be when you have Ivy in the backcourt.
No, because
you got to take someone at 4 still.
Oh, wait. No, yeah, we don't draft Ivy. We take someone else.
So now we would just have too many.
No, you draft Ivy, and then now
take
Donovan
Murray.
Mitchell. No, then the Mitchell's coming off the bench. He wouldn't start.
Wow. Davion and Killian Hayes off the bench. Or we
Now
trade
you
Killian.
Now you have depth.
Would you trade Isaiah Stewart in the 5th for the 4th pick?
No.
No, here's what I came up with today based on that info. Because also in the same article, guys, we got a bomb dropped. I guess I don't know how much of a bomb. It says Jeremy Grant is widely expected by the league to be traded this offseason. So there's buzz, there's smoke that it's not like it's pretty out there that he is going to be traded this summer. So I factor that in. So Alex, this is my answer to you. I would not trade up in this draft with a package of Jeremy Grant unless I can get Paolo Banchero. He's the only guy I think it's worth getting rid of Jeremy and our pick to go up and get. Like, I don't think the difference between Jaden and Keegan Murray and the guy I'm going to talk about in a second is that big right now at this point in their careers where I would do that move.
I would agree with you.
Now, from who I want.
Benedict Mathurin, puke.
Well, I'm going to say Benedict Mathurin. So here's my concerns with Ivy. I still think he's a fantastic player. It could work out with the Pistons. If they draft him on draft night, I'm not going to be mad. I want that clear. This draft is weird. I like 3 guys basically at our pick that I could convince myself of. Jaden Ivey brings the flash. Here's the problem. This is what I've decided, though. I want Cade Cunningham to be our primary ball handler, and I want him to be doing it the bulk of the time. And I just, based on what I've seen from Jaden Ivey thus far in his career, it concerns me of him being like an off-ball guard for us, just running around and whatnot. And I also think Jaden Ivey was not super great at the pick and roll in college basketball. Could get better, but I just think like he'd be better just being let loose as the guy with the ball in his hands. But we have Cade for that, and I don't want Cade off ball. So I would be more inclined at this point to let Cade be the primary guy, and then you have Sadiq Bey and Benedict Mathurin, who is as athletic as Jaden Ivey. He's right there as athletic as Jaden Ivey, and is a 38%, 40% three-point shooter. And I've watched him carry his team to wins this year, especially in the NCAA tournament. I just think he's an absolute dog. He's also 6'6", so he's a little bit taller. I like that better as well. He had the dunk of the year in college basketball, so he's an athletic freak. I could really convince myself to take Benedict Mathurin at 5, even over Keegan Murray, who I still really like. So it's very tough. Troy Weaver's got a tough job. That's basically what I'm getting at. I'm driving a little Benedict Mathurin propaganda machine. Like I said, I could also be fine with Jaden Ivey being picked.
He shot 36.9% from 3 this year. 39 or whatever you just said.
38 on spot up attempts.
That's just, I don't know why you cherry pick that number.
Because it's important for the NBA. That's what he's going to be getting early in his career in the NBA before he becomes a creator. He's going to be getting kicked out too. And he also, his assist numbers were solid for a shooting guard. He's a shooting
Evan,
guard.
Before Grant says anything else, what do you think is a solid assist number for a shooting guard?
Assist? Like, define solid.
That's, you're defining it. I'm asking you.
A solid number. I'm saying 4.5 assists.
Grant, what do you think?
4.
He had 2.5. He averaged 2.5. So not totally true that he is a great or above average assister for a 2 guard.
Hey, look, I'm also just going off of eye test as well.
Yeah, well, you should have said that.
Like, I watched him play and he made passes in games, so I'm like, okay, he's not just like a catch and shoot in the corner guy.
And he's also, based on the games that I saw him play, he is a guy with the ball in his hands, shooting shots, creating shots himself.
He can do that too.
Is exactly what you do not want. Is what you just said.
He's not going to be as much like Jaden Ivey was, bring the ball up all the time.
You don't think Benedict Mathurin brought the ball up all the time?
No, he did not. They had another guard named Dalen Terry, or ended with Terry, that brought the ball up a lot for Arizona.
Well, as Evan mentioned, the rest of Purdue's team kind of sucked other than the big men. I mean, are you having Stefanovic bringing the ball up?
Eric Hunter, who's now a Bulldog.
Who's not a point guard by any means.
Eric Hunter is a point guard.
He didn't really play point guard.
Because Jaden Ivey was on their team.
I just think you got a weird view of Jaden Ivey, and I don't get it.
He has the flashiest plays I've probably seen this year in college basketball, but there was a lot of times where he just was a volume shooter that was taking dumb shots, and I was like, why aren't you just doing different things? And he didn't get his teammates involved as much as I thought. Again, it could be the offensive scheme, but I'm just telling you, I'm basically saying don't rule out and be like, oh man, we took Benedict over Jaden Ivey. If it happens, Benedict Mathurin would be a really good player for the Detroit Pistons.
I'm stunned that you have Ivey third in this tier of 3 guys. That's all. And if Ivy's on the board and we take Mathurin, I am going to be disappointed.
That's understandable. Many people would be. They'd be like, why did we pass on Ivy?
Evan?
I want Cade, who I know is fantastic, to drive this team as our point guard.
I think he will no matter what. Everyone knows it's his team. They do.
Bennedict Mathurin also better than Ivy at defense in college.
You can teach defense if you're that athletic. Evan, please talk.
But you guys were taking it away. You guys are in the good heated battle. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being more athletic. It's all about position of need. And Grant sees Mathurin more than Ivy. And Grant has solid points of wanting Cade Cunningham to control the ball 75-80% of the time. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't want you to recap what we just talked about. I wanted you to just tell me what you thought.
I already gave you why I want Ivy. That's why I didn't say Mathurin's name. Yes, I would be upset if we drafted Mathurin over Ivy. I would be just as upset.
Good. Just wondering.
Can I also tell you a stat for our guy Jaden Ivey? And I like Jaden Ivey, but he averaged 3 assists this year in college basketball. So it's not like he's some Ja Morant level passer. People keep comparing Ja Morant, and it annoys me because he's not even close to Ja Morant.
Well, they don't really play the same position, for one.
They're both point guards.
Jaden Ivey is not really a point guard. He's not going to play point guard in the NBA.
That concerns me, how he's going to play off the ball. That's my concern with Jaden Ivey. Because he didn't in college. He had the ball in his hand, ISO ball. I watched it in the Big Ten tournament for many games. He just stood there, dribbled between his legs, waited for a screen. What's Cade doing in those possessions?
I'm not going to give this argument another breath because it's just a dumb one.
So what's your hammering home point then?
Purdue's starting lineup, Grant, they didn't have any guys that could do anything with the ball on their own. They didn't have any. They had big men, 2 down low.
They had Eric Hunter that could initiate their offense.
Oh, for God's sakes. Eric Hunter is now good enough to be create on his own and be like a good, serviceable point guard in the Big Ten? Because he wasn't. That's why he transferred.
No, but Alex, the point guard, he just runs the offense, and then Jaden Ivey runs action as a 2 guard.
You don't think Matt Painter was like, hey, Jaden, just do it yourself because everyone else sucks?
I think he did tell him to do that, which is my concern, because in the NBA, I don't want Jaden Ivey to do that on the Pistons.
You think Jaden Ivey's going to walk in and be like, yep, I'm better than Cade Cunningham, and I'm not going to let him have the ball?
No, I just think maybe Jaden Ivey was going to struggle as a pure 2-guard role coming off the ball. He's going to be like, I need the ball in my hands to be my best. That's my point. I think he's a very skilled player. I just don't know if he's right for the Pistons with Cade Cunningham. And I don't think the drop off to Bennedict Mathurin is that far. That's why I would do it. If Jaden Ivey was like, oh my God, he blew me away, would take him no matter what.
Well, you're not saying there's any drop off. You're saying Bennedict Mathurin's better.
For the Pistons, I think he is. Because then you have Cade, Bennedict, Saddiq Bey, 3 guys that you're not worried that can knock down threes at a high clip. Well, at least Saddiq can, and then Mathurin should based on his numbers, and then Cade's getting there. He's a volume guy. But
okay. I think it's a bad take, but it's fine.
It's fine. I just don't think it's that. I don't think Pistons fans should be stunned or like, oh my God, what is Troy Weaver doing if we take Bennedict Mathurin? I think he's on the same caliber.
I mean, Mathurin shot 0.8% better from 3 this year. We're splitting hairs.
Yeah, and we're also splitting hairs with your assist point because Jaden Ivey is not some distributor.
I didn't say Jaden Ivey was good at passing. You said Bennedict Mathurin was. I was just telling you his stats.
Well, that's a huge factor in Jaden Ivey's game because he's going to want the ball.
Jaden Ivey turns the ball over a little bit. You could have said that.
Well, he does do that. I thought that was a given. And he no-showed against St. Peter's, which it will always be in the back of my head. That someone that good just no-showed against St. Peter's. St. Peter's. Doug.
Had a really good tournament
before that. Guy? Who's that guy from Doug? Doug something. Clamped him.
I think the problem... No, I'm not getting back into it. Just for...
This is a good tip-off point.
Purdue's offense is built like a 1960s basketball team. So no wonder that if they just clog the paint, like Evan said. If a team just only worried about clogging the paint and stopping Ivy, then he's going to suck.
That was I don't think that's accurate. Multiple people in college basketball say Purdue runs some of the most advanced pick and roll offense in college basketball, and they didn't play Edey and Trey.
They didn't play them at the
Williams.
same time often.
Right.
No, I know that.
They still ran like a very off ball screens, on ball screens type offense. Like they weren't just like running two guys on the blocks, entry pass, get out of the way.
More so talking about their roster construction. But
with one big man that starts and one big man off the bench.
And a bunch of just like below average players.
And then Purdue was below average. Purdue was a very good basketball team last year.
Yeah, they had a really skilled big man, a really ginormous big man that could get points whenever, and they had one of the best players in college basketball, Jaden Ivey.
A sharpshooter, and then a glue guy at the 4, and a veteran guard. They were pretty good basketball team.
In fairness, Stefanovic sucked this past year. He was not as good as he was in the previous couple of years.
No, but he's still a threat. And
correct, he's still a threat. You still have to honor him, yes.
Yeah. Kind of like Clay with the Warriors. Like, even if Clay's off, you're not just going to leave Clay open.
I'm just saying a lot of Purdue's success was based on Jaden Ivey, and you just kind of like making it seem like it's not. Like, he was a big reason for why they were good. Probably the main reason.
He's really good. He's a really good basketball player.
Yes, he is. Better than Benedict Mathurin, and then we can move on.
Well, we'll agree to disagree as we move on to the U.S. Open, which is this week, and we have live questions as well. So I guess we'll start with the live questions because these came last week, but we didn't get to them because it was long. So on the live tour, as listener Cody with a K points out, 4 tournaments in the U.S., 4 overseas. Each week they play for a pile of money and redraft their teams. That kind of sounds crazy. Other than the blood money funding this, it's a huge caveat. What makes people so mad? This is an exciting new league. Just enjoy it for the time being and let the future of golf evolve. Part 2. We'll just do part 1 for now because they're separate. Your guys' official thoughts on live now that you've seen it play 1 week.
My official thought, I'll let Evan talk. I've talked a lot lately. Evan, go on.
Yeah, we need to hear Evan.
I don't really care about who plays where. They're chasing a bag. They're playing a different tournament style. They're getting away from the traditional PGA Tour. I still think a lot of this has to do with like sponsorships and like tied down to what tournaments you have to play in and where you can and cannot go. I think it's more freedom. It's a different format. It's new and exciting. It's always what Barney Stenson would say. New is always better. And right now that's what people see as new is always better. And just when they throw a crap ton of money at you, it's going to be hard to say no. I don't blame them for going there. I just don't see why people have to be so upset about it. Let it have its 2-3 years of fun and then let it just burn down and it'll all just come back anyways.
Evan's predicting doom for the live tour.
If nobody watches, they can't generate money if they're going to run out.
For the point of the question when they said other than the blood money funding this, that's a huge point. Like, but again, you can
like
nitpick
the main
that,
point for most people.
Like you can nitpick that point. Like Saudi Arabia is involved in a bunch of things. Like that investment fund that's in this. I read that like invests in Twitter, which is ironic because a lot of people that are mad about it use Twitter as their platform to say they're mad about it. Saudi Arabia makes money off of that. They are investors in Uber. I mean, like Saudi Arabia's money is involved in all of our lives in one way or another that we're just not aware. So that's a big part. But I can see how you'd be like, well, then you couldn't do anything basically. But what I will say is a big part of for what makes me annoyed is like which they're probably being told to basically like through their contract is like no one on the live tour has said we're just doing this for money. Like I just don't like to be lied to or like a grant pet you on the head and like no, we're doing it to, as Phil Mickelson says, grow the game of golf. Like okay, like you're doing it for money. I know you probably can't say that, but I'd respect you more if you just did say that. I think Bryson kind of said that in a way. He was like, yeah, the money was really good. Like, I just need more people to say that. That's the only reason these people are going for a lighter work, more money, which as Americans we can respect. So I'm not going to draw some moral high ground, but that's a big part where people are annoyed because they're just not being transparent about it.
Yeah. I'm not mad that people are going. I just think that the product stinks. The players aren't good. They have 0 top 10 players there. The current official world golf rankings. They have 0 top 10 players. Dustin Johnson's 16. Bryson's 29th.
Because they don't play. You have to play to get, and if they're injured and they're skipping tournaments, their rankings go down. That's why.
Right, but Phil Mickelson's one of your biggest faces, and he's like 50-something years old. Most of these guys are old. The young guys aren't leaving or haven't left yet, other than Bryson. I guess it says Ricky's going. Ricky's kind of old now.
He has not gone yet because Rocket Mortgage hasn't canceled his...
I've read the only young guy that went that was kind of surprising was Taylor Gooch because he actually won an event on the tour and was like around like a younger age, but he bolted.
Yeah, he's 35th in the world, Taylor Gooch. They got Kevin Na, super old, Sergio, old, and then a bunch of guys that Lee Westwood, Ian Poulters, that were good 20 years ago. So I'm not mad that anyone goes if you want your money, and I think it makes sense for guys like James Pyatt to go because he's... I'm not saying that his U.S. amateur was a fluke, but he's not some up-and-coming Jordan Spieth by any means. So go collect your... I think he made $153,000 in the first week, and they paid him $1 million to join. So if you're in that situation, yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, another thing is it's guaranteed contracts for if you're not the top of the world, you don't have the best sponsorships, you're not winning.
Right, it makes sense for guys like that to go.
Then you're financially better off playing in a tournament with guaranteed contracts.
Right. And I think this will at least get the PGA Tour to reconsider how they do things. But, yeah, I'm not mad about it. I just think it's not going to last. It's not good. They don't have a TV deal. It's on YouTube. Yeah,
accessible platform for everyone, though.
I don't find it exciting or, cool.
I watched, 5 minutes of it, and the way they abbreviate the names on the far left is so terrible. I couldn't tell who was who, so I just
hated that. I like that they had the NASCAR style leaderboard, I guess, moving up and down. But if I don't know who's who based on 2-3 letters, then
it was very. They do the first 3 letters of everyone's last name, and I was like, I don't know who that is. Who is that?
The announcers also sucked.
They do this really terrible. A ping notification every time they highlight someone's name on the leaderboard, and I thought it was my Slack notification going off the whole time. So I was like, I can't watch this. This is just, or I have to watch it on mute. So, but this is their first broadcast. They'll get quirks, and I think what you said, Alex, is the biggest point of the format. I mean, and John Rahm had a great quote I saw is that he's a 54-hole shotgun start is just not really professional golf the way it's been played. So he's just saying that's just not what I want to play every weekend. I want to play at Jack Nicklaus's course. I want to play at the Arnold Palmer invite in a standard 4-day, not shotgun start event. And I can get behind that. He's just yeah, this is not what I want to play because I can't really measure myself against the best that way.
I also hate I can see the point of the shotgun start is so that everyone plays in the same conditions. That's the big deal about it, I guess. But watching big tournaments and getting excited for the final groups and having a sweet final group pairing, that's the whole point of it. So, and no, I don't need to watch all the scrubs while the leaders are playing at the same time. What's the point of that?
Yeah.
Product
I
stinks.
think it's definitely, it's something, it's interesting. It's new. The part 2 was who was the one person you could see make a move that would stun the world, but you could see it happening. Stun the world. I got one.
That'd have to be a top 10 player. Then
I don't know if it would stun. It's just a natural. I could see Brooks Koepka eventually going because his brother's in it. So maybe you're at Christmas or Thanksgiving and you're like, hey, Chase, how's that live money? He's like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And Brooks, we already know, has said he wants golf to be shorter anyways.
Did you see his comments this week, though?
I did see
pissed off because everyone keeps on talking about
asking about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's more he doesn't want people talking about it. He could go because Dustin pledged his allegiance to the tour and then went back on it. Like in February, Dustin Johnson said, I'm staying with the tour. So if the bag gets big enough and he talks to Chase and Chase is driving a sweet car to family Christmas, he might be like, I might just play that tournament.
The PGA Tour is only helping the Live Tour every single time that they have a media member ask a player about it.
Just stop talking about it.
If you quit talking, you're like any publicity for the Live Tour is good publicity right now, and the more they keep on talking it, you turn on the Golf Channel, which is sponsored by the PGA Tour. Arnold Palmer built that Golf Channel. That's half of their conversations about the Live Tour.
Yeah, they just got to stop talking about it.
It's the biggest drama in sports right now, though, because it's the real.
I would avoid it at all costs, so you don't give them free advertisement.
Yeah. Well, I guess they can't really stop unless they do it because the Live was like throwing journalists out of their event. Like the PGA can't throw people out of their event for asking questions about the Live, but it's like, yeah, what do they do? Because that's all journalists and reporters want to talk about right now is the Live.
Talk about the U.S. Open.
Well, they better just hope
biggest tournaments.
If DJ or one of the guys, Taylor Gooch, threatens to win this thing, that would be an all-time weekend in golf. If one of these guys pulled it out. But it's really fascinating. It was worth the question because I've heard everyone talk about it, even like not big golf guys are like wondering about this league and compare it to other sports. But it seems like a decent threat to the league. It's because they have like endless money. Like
that's
what do you
the
do
one thing. Where does all this money come from? How do they have this much money?
It's oil money, baby.
Saudi Arabia, dude.
They're not making money from their tour.
They're terrible people and they don't care about making a profit. Because like what they want to do is like make Saudi Arabia seem normal to the outside world by having a golf league, and then like, oh yeah, Saudi Arabia doesn't like
do terrible things,
have terrible human rights, and like murder people that they shouldn't. So like that's what they're trying to do through this golf league.
The PGA Tour should just start guaranteeing money.
Yes, there should be guaranteed contracts based off of your
20 seconds.
Name, image, and likeness, your brand, how well off you are, like how well you represent yourself outside of golf. You do for the community is what you give back. And then it's like a certain amount. And then like your world golf rankings changes your contract based off of every year.
The PGA should also adopt from the Live at least a segment of the year where they do more team golf events, because I do like the idea of being on a team, because that'd be more fun for us fans who are used to rooting for teams to then root for a like Team TaylorMade, Team Callaway.
That would be lit.
That's a good idea, because I would say I need the teams to be the same every week. Yeah, I don't want them to change.
Do the sponsors of like golf equipment, and maybe it's
we could fix so many things if they just let us sit in a room and talk about it.
Dude, Ryder Cup people love. Ryder Cup's like the best. Like just
that is our country, Grant.
Do like 1 month a year of the golf event when it's a low point in the year, and you do a team month event where like the guys still play individually in one tournament. Maybe they do a scramble event, a best ball event. They could do whatever they want. Just make it a team, because that's fun to root for. That's what I would say. They should copy from them.
There's some things they should take, and then they should burn this league to the ground.
They could, yeah.
Because it sucks.
All right, so now an actual non-live tournament with live golfers in at the U.S. Open in Brookline, Massachusetts, in Boston. I kind of like that it's in Boston. It feels like very U.S. Open-y, like Boston you think about as a very founding of America city. It just feels right. I'm sure the rough will be absolutely insane, like it always is in U.S. Opens. So we'll do our classic favorite and long shot pick. Long shot cutoff is like 4,000, correct? Is that what we do? I feel like it varies major to major.
4,000 is not enough. I'm just looking at this list. We got to go.
I'm on FanDuel?
I'm on DraftKings.
I
say plus 8,000 and up.
Whoa, then my pick is out. Because I have a guy that's plus, like in the 6,000 range that I had on FanDuel, but I don't know what it is on DraftKings.
Well, who is it?
Well, I can't tell you because then you're going to take them.
What can you say this got to be higher than 4,000?
Yeah. Why'd you go
There's
8,000?
some good guys in the 4,000s.
But they still
haven't played, dude.
Brooks Koepka is at plus 4,000.
He is coming back from...
really been relevant.
Max Homa just won, and he's at plus 4,500.
He's never won a major. I think that's it.
He's won once in his life.
Fine, plus 4,000.
All right.
It doesn't affect me. Grant can argue this, but I already got two guys, and they're both plus... well over 4,000. Well, one's 4,000. The other one's double that. So
your favorite you have at 4,000?
Yes, because 10 of the last 3 U.S. Opens have been first time winners.
Wow,
Daniel Berger.
All right, I'm going
going first. I'm picking Daniel Berger first.
Wow. As your
That's
favorite.
my long
As my
shot.
favorite, I'm picking Daniel Berger.
Gross.
That's stunning. Any reason why?
He's
First time
American
winner?
first time winner.
Cool last name. You're hungry?
I had my stats lined up.
You want to eat a burger?
He's 15th in the PGA in driving accuracy. And from everything that I've been reading, driving is the key. If you're not accurate, if you can't find your driver, you might as well don't even show up for the cut because you're not going to do well.
Unless you're like a Bryson where you just hit it so far, like he did that one time, it doesn't matter.
That was stupid. God, I don't like Bryson.
And I had another. He finished tied for 5th last week in Memorial, so he's coming off hot.
He's putting. He's seeing the ball well.
Yep.
To me,
my favorite.
Oh no, no.
Yes, Grant, you go first.
No.
He's a true favorite. He's plus 1,400 on DraftKings. Scotty Scheffler. I think he could win 2 majors this year off of the Masters. The stats I was diving into that I thought were going to help is basically how good of a ball striker you are, how good you are from the tee, from after the tee to the green. Those approach shots are huge. I heard the greens are absolutely tiny. So if you I'm just picturing like a little coaster size green. So if you can really have good iron shots in, you have a good chance to win this week. And all the stats I looked at, Scotty Scheffler, he has good iron play. So I'm taking Scotty Scheffler.
Daniel Berger, 9th in sand save percentage. Small greens means more bunkers.
And in 2013 U.S. Amateur Tournament, Scotty Scheffler finished like in the top 5. There's a couple guys that played in that event that are in this field. He finished top 5, so he knows this course and he played well here at least.
This course, wow, Grant, you're giving off.
There's a couple guys that played in it. I saw well, I'm not going to say his name, but Alex, go ahead.
Say him right now.
Rory
Please
McIlroy is
Rory
my favorite.
McIlroy.
Won last week, top 5 the week before.
Alex
He's playing really well.
Hey, the last 3 champions have been first timers.
I heard you, Evan.
Oh,
history doesn't always repeat itself.
Has Rory not won a U.S. Open?
He has actually. He's won everything but the Masters, I believe.
Doesn't win a lot these days.
He won last week, actually.
I know. I'm saying majors.
Great driver of the golf ball, probably the best in the last 10 years. So he's got that. Evan said that's a factor. Ball striking, he's one of the best at that too. Grant, he takes your stats as well.
You're just talking about this, or you're actually giving up the stats of what
I'm telling you what I watch.
He's but you also
got
to mention that
he's one of the best drivers of the golf ball of all time.
His putting always ruins him.
He is not a great putter. That's usually his problem.
And go to his performance now.
I'm going, Evan.
And see what his stats are.
Okay.
Driving accuracy percentage. Do it.
Do you have it up, or you just?
I have my guy up. That's what I'm picking next. Is my long shot.
I love that Alex is taking the PGA spokesperson for this event.
Off the tee. Is that what we're looking at?
Driving accuracy percentage.
Where's that at, Evan?
Dude, go to his PGA Tour profile.
I'm on it.
Go over to performance.
I'm on performance.
Scroll down a little bit.
Yep.
And there's driving distance, driving accuracy percentage, regulation.
Tee to green, he's first. Off the tee, he's first. Driving distance, he's third. Driving accuracy, 112th. Driving distance, 4th.
Driving accuracy percentage, he is 112th.
He is tee to green the first in the entire tour. I don't care.
Give me the driving accuracy percentage stat.
60%.
What is that rank?
112th.
Oh, thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
And he's top 5 in every category on the rest of these lists.
Birdie average.
Where's that one?
It's like 4 below driving accuracy.
Do I gotta click putting?
No.
Yeah, I do actually.
No, you don't. It's right there. Birdie average, right on 2 under driving accuracy percentage.
Oh, it's because I don't have the full website.
Oh, but make sure, Alex, you're not just sorted just by the RBC Open.
I know that, Grant.
The last tournament, and he won that, so he probably played well. Well, Alex, sounds like your pick stinks because you can't drive straight.
Oh, you guys are stupid.
Even find these stats, dude. Look up.
But he is
he's one of the best drivers of the golf ball of all time.
It's a vanilla pick because he's actually the odds-on
favorite
to win.
He is the favorite to win, and you guys are telling me that it's bad.
That means none of us can pick our boy Willie. Wow, feels bad.
Evan, Your long shot.
My long
Back in
shot.
order. Watch it, Alex.
Driving accuracy percentage ranked 3rd.
He's just basing it on driving accuracy.
I like it.
I am.
This is his stat.
I'm going back to my well. I already picked him once. I'm picking Abraham Answer again.
Oh, thank God.
He hits the ball like 12 yards.
No, he actually, his driving distance average actually is...
Oh, jeez. You got the actually crowd going.
294.3. It's not good. It's 139th. But accuracy, baby. You got to hit the fairways.
The rough is thick. I will give you that.
I was using a different stat site for mine. I want to like pull up my guy on this one now so I can talk you guys.
Now
the same
I'm
language.
pulling mine up so that I don't mess.
I was using like a.
All right, 87.
I was using like the NBC
87th?
Sports Edge tools.
Both my guys were in top 15, Alex. So
okay, but my guys hit it far and have won.
Off the tee.
And you said it has to be a first time
my
winner
guys are
for my
first
second
timers.
one. I'm picking a first timer for the second one.
Daniel Berger's coming off of hot. Abraham Answer played very well in the PGA Championship. So there's my long shot. He's also plus 8,000. So I'm not.
Did Abraham Answer finish at PGA?
Tied for 9th.
All right. I finished tied for 13.
Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
My long shot
is
plus 6,500.
Ooh, let me guess.
Maybe, value play. It's the man, the myth, the legend. There's 2 of them already. Harold Varner III.
Oh, that's a really, really bad pick.
You're a really, really bad golf analyst.
No, give me some stats though.
That's
Back it
really
yes.
Off strokes gained tee to green off the tee. This man is 32nd in the tour. He's driving it well. His approach to the green, 29th on tour. He's getting it to the green well. If he misses the green somehow, guess what? He's 13th in the tour around the green to get up and down. Scrambling, 33rd. He's going to save pars, which you need to do in US Opens. And his putting, it's top 100. It's 97th. It's not great, but it's good enough to win this tournament. So that's a well-rounded player going into this event he's been in the mix in some big tournaments
does he have this year, Grant?
Probably 0, but he's been in the mix.
How many wins does he have in his career, Grant?
First-time winner, Alex.
First-time winner. Thank you, Grant.
He's an American. If you don't root for him, he's from Akron, Ohio, East Carolina University. Now I'm just reading off all of his stats. Yeah. You got to root for Harold Varner III. He's an Air Jordan brand, too.
Oh.
Take that bad pick and shove.
Shove it. Okay,
one up, right. I'm taking a guy I've taken before, first time winner, young guy. I trust the young guys more. Harold Varner's kind of old now, by the way.
31. That's
in his prime. Old for the tour. Max Homa plus 4,500.
Oh, dude, I put this guy on the map, dude. I put this guy on the map.
You put him on the map. He just won a few weeks ago. He finished.
You were out here yelling at all of
Alex,
us to pick somebody 8,000 or higher, and you come down here to 45.
If those are going to be the chalkiest guys, you picked the 2 chalkiest guys.
Yeah, sometimes you guys overthink it.
Baby soft.
And guess what? I did put him on. I picked Max Homa when he was plus 8,000 for the Masters to start this year, and you guys were like, Max Homa? And now look at him. He's good. He's like plus 4,000.
All right, Alex, let's side bet between all of us 3. We're going to average the place finish for our 2 guys that we're taking. Whoever has the highest wins.
I don't know if I'm that confident in Harold Varner.
I am that confident. I know I'll win.
You should be. You picked like the easiest guys.
You made the rules.
No,
why would I overthink it and take some who'd you take? Daniel Berger to win the US Open. I'm not placing this bet for real.
Driving accuracy, I'm just trying to be right. Alex.
He might not even make the cut.
Alex, I guarantee. Alex, I bet you $100 he makes the cut.
You don't have $100 right now.
Correct, I don't. That's why I'm so confident. I can bet you, and you have to give me the $100.
Yeah,
I wanted to spice up our bets or picks this week because I can't pick Max Homa as a long shot every tournament.
Correct.
So
I spiced.
You just went back to the well. I picked 2 guys I've never talked about.
I wanted to take Daniel Berger as my long shot.
No, you did not.
I said it out loud.
Yeah, because I said my guy's plus 4,000, and there's 3 guys.
Plus 4,000 guy.
Yes. I'm not taking Mito Pereira after what I saw in
no one's
18.
ever taken him. He's plus 4,500 anyways.
Good ball striker.
I almost took Tommy Fleetwood, but he doesn't have the distance.
It also sucks to say we're not doing a snake draft, but congrats to Alex on winning the quarterback draft based on comments I've seen. So people fell for the flashy players.
Yep.
Evan, you also got a lot of hate.
I simply just not drafting quarterbacks that I do not like. So,
I mean, that's lot of hate in Evan's direction.
People thought you were joking. Some people
thought it was a joke.
You were joking.
But if they had a draft in my position, or you're taking Lamar and Dak, congrats, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar's a weird pick. He can't throw.
Way to go, chalk. So. Way to go, chalky, chalk. Yeah, but Kyler Murray, young, small little miniature Kyler Murray is adorable, and I wanted him.
Yeah, no, it did actually fit the graphic perfectly. Yes. I was laughing when I made it. I was like, that is perfect for the graphic. That's the show, guys. We made it almost to 2 hours. I thought there was nothing to talk about tonight. There was
Jaden Ivey and Live Golf just took the show.
Oh, and Top Gun. I forgot to add Top Gun.
Oh, and the late Top Gun.
I would have cut out a different topic if I knew Top Gun, if I remembered that. But yeah, that's the show. At Shot of MS everywhere. Spotify, YouTube, Apple's where you can listen. Just keep supporting. We're just grinding on a Wednesday, 2 hours for this. So support the show. Be a friend. Send it to a friend that you have. Ask them whether they want Jay and Ivy or Benedict Mathurin or Keegan Murray. See what they do. Hopefully it's civil. You know, Alex and I ended civil. Just testy in the middle, but then you get civil.
Sure.
Well, he's mad.
I'm laughing at what Evan's doing on screen.
With all that being said, cheers to episode 76, my last drop of High Noon.
Cheers. Daniel Berger.
Cheers.
To Rory
and happy
Father's
Day.